YouTube, welcome back to the channel. You are watching Gunplay TV, and today we are talking SBR stock options. Yes, we do have the MCX on the table, and as you can see, it is no longer equipped with a pistol brace. Of course, that is not because I am flying in the face of my government's will, but rather because I paid them an additional $200 tax and waited 2.5 months to get this SBR. So before we go any further, I'm going to ask that you pause this video now, scroll down, take a look for that subscribe button. Once you found it, go ahead and give that a click for me. I do appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get straight into it.
Reach for the sky.
All right, guys, so as I said in the introduction, in this video, we are taking a look at my MCX once more and some SBR PDW style stock options, okay? And so on the rifle currently, it's a rifle now, I can say that. It's like clockwork, guys. Every single time I start a new video, my memory card either is full or my battery dies. So memory card just filled up there. I had to delete a couple snippets. Neither here nor there. Before I go any further, I will say I am in a new place, a new studio, so you guys might hear a bit of echo. Rest assured that's going to disappear in the coming videos. I just need to get some sound deadening pads in this room. It's not the best acoustics here. Also looking at some new lighting. So neither here nor there, like I said in the introduction, we are today looking at SBR and PDW style stock options, okay? And so what that essentially embodies is stocks that are a bit shorter, okay? So currently on the rifle, again, I can say that now, this is finally a rifle, we've got a LWRC PDW style stock. Now, these typically are offered from LWRC and LMT, at least to my knowledge, and they both tend to come with shorter buffer tubes. In fact, we can see here, this is all the way collapsed. And I'm gonna do a video on this. This is the JMAC Customs SBT stock extension, right? It's great for things that, along the lines of your MCX, they don't require a buffer tube. Neither here nor there. You'll notice that this is, of course, the standard formatted length for a buffer tube. However, this stock does not reach fully to the receiver. So hoping that JMAC makes something a little shorter, but I did not want to use one of the proprietary LWRC or LMT tubes because they just don't fold quite as flat against the side of the rifle. These SBR PDW style stock options tend to be a bit shorter, and today we've got the newest option from the market, okay? So Magpul has been teasing this for a while, since SHOT Show, I wanna say. They've been talking about their SBR PDW style stock. It's actually the SLM. And for those of you that are kind of aware, or that are in the loop, you'll note that this is actually going to be the stock from the NGSW, the Next Generation Squad Weapon, or the Sig SPEAR, right? It's got like 3 or 4 different names at this point. But again, I wanted to grab this. I wanted to kind of keep my MCX as closely in line with the design of the Sig SPEAR as possible, okay? And so this should be, as it says here on the box, optimized for PDW length receiver extensions. Again, you're kind of limited at this time to those of LMT and LWRC. Waiting for Sig Sauer, if you're watching this video, chances are you're not, but if you are, waiting for you guys to release the Sig SPEAR buffer extension so that I can place that on my MCX, and I'm sure there's a lot of MCX boys out there that aren't willing to drop 10 grand on the SPEAR, but would love that option, okay? So let's go ahead and break straight into this. All right, so inside the box, we've got, just as we said, the SLM for Magpul. Of course, a nice Magpul sticker as well. Gotta have that. So as I take this out the box, again, we'll note that this is gonna be a bit shorter than your standard SL stocks from Magpul. So there's a lot of question online about what the difference between this is and I believe the SLK. Well, frankly, it's because it's shorter. It's gonna be a bit slimmer. Other than that, it's more or less the same. Now, it does have a standard 1.25 ambidextrous sling loop, which is actually more or less the size of an M-LOK slot. So you can drop in a M-LOK QD swivel here, and you can actually utilize your current QD swivels like we have here on the rifle. Now, that's one thing that I'll say that I did not like about this particular stock. I wish that it would have come with that QD out of the box, but neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and slap this on to the MCX. Now, before we go ahead and put this onto the rifle itself, I want to compare again and kind of illustrate the difference between some of these low profile PDW style stocks and a more traditional, this is actually a B5 Systems Bravo stock, right? Kind of the South Mod Bravo. You'll notice that well, it's quite a bit longer than all of these SBR PDW style stock options, right? And so that's, again, is kind of the purpose or the idea behind these. Actually, looks like this is actually a bit longer than the LWRC. Now, I do not have the LMT variety here on the table. That one is extraordinarily pricey for whatever reason, but I haven't opted to purchase that. But with this Sig MCX, I do have a number of stock options, and of course wanted to explore all of those if at all possible, right? And so this B5 is from another rifle of mine. I won't be using this on the MCX. However, I will illustrate, now that it's an SBR, kind of the difference in how that sits on the JMAC extension, right? So this, of course, as I said before, kind of a standard buffer tube length extension. And it's going to accommodate your B5 stock all the way into the end of the receiver there. Not so much the case with these other options. So let's take a look at the Magpul SLM.
A few moments later.
Sorry guys, it's been a minute since I've had a Magpul stock in my rotation. But you do, of course, when you put that in, you have to kind of get a screwdriver and pull this pin out a bit just to get that over the end of the extension. Now, we'll notice that still, because this is a standard 6-inch buffer tube, it's not gonna get all the way to the end of the receiver. But all in all, right, this is, just a quick look at that SLM stock for Magpul. Now, I like it a lot already. I like the look of it. Again, it's very much in keeping with the design of the NGSW. In fact, as I said before in the introduction, this is the exact stock from the NGSW. So for me, kind of wanted to keep my MCX as in line with that design philosophy as possible. So I went with the SLM, was ready to jump on that, and it sold out within a day, at least in this color on Magpul's website. Now, very happy with this. This will note kind of a difference between, let me go ahead and fold this for you. Now, of course, it's not going to fold completely flat, at least not with this particular stock extension. Now, we'll see if, again, Sig Sauer releases that to the public. But one thing I will note is that I like over this Magpul versus the LWRC. While the LWRC is in fact shorter, it does actually provide a bit of a wider base pad there, or shoulder pad, if you will, but the texturing is not nearly as aggressive. One other thing I will note is that they both do have a light taper off towards the bottom to accommodate shoulder transitions if you're wearing body armor, things of that nature. Okay, and so very good there. But one thing I really liked about the SLM is, well, it's very slim. Much slimmer than the LWRC, as we can see there, but also does provide that better traction on the base pad there, right? Now, one thing I will say that is nice, but of course, as a kind of necessary add-on, is the need or the ability to add that M-LOK QD attachment there on the end of the stock. Now, that's something that you're gonna have to go out and purchase if you don't already have one of those. I do not, at least not one that's not already in use. And so I'm gonna have to grab a Magpul QD and drop that in there so that I can utilize my current QD swivels that I've got on my Blue Forest Gear sling, right? So something to consider there. Pretty much all other stocks these days are gonna come with that QD swivel, right? LWRC has it, I believe the LMT has it as well. And this, of course, is the Sig Sauer, the folding plus size stock, okay? So got this as another option. Don't know when or if I will use it, but now that I'm, SBR ready, I can do these things all day long. Okay, so again, just wanted to provide you guys a quick look at the Magpul SLM. I know that there's a lot of folks that have been waiting for this for a while, and so I wanted to bring that to the channel. But once more, if you found this video educational, inspirational, or entertaining in any way, shape, or form, I'm gonna ask that you go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit like and leave a comment if you would. It really does help push these videos through the algorithm. With all that being said, I'm gone.